Welcome to the shortwave radio channel, and while I'm playing around with the Malahite Chinese clone, right now it is plugged to a new antenna that I have, which is the YouLoop antenna. A lot of people have been talking about the YouLoop, and I wanted to test it for myself, see how it performs, and all I'll say is, for now, I'm not impressed at all. It receives well, but I'm not going to replace any MLA30 that I have with a YouLoop, that's for sure. Now, that said, I know that it has specific electronic traits that make it kind of operate better on certain types of receivers, like the AirSpy HF Plus Discovery. We'll be testing that out for sure. So right now it's on the Malahite Chinese clone, and it doesn't perform very well on this radio, honestly. But you know, it's testing out with different radios. The other thing that I also don't like about the YouLoop right now is the fact that it's darn cheap. And when I say cheap, that thing you don't bring along on the expeditions all the time, because plastic on plastic with SMA connectors that are a little flimsy, honestly, mean that it won't last very long. And once again, the MLA30 is a much sturdier antenna for that type of usage, because you don't have connectors to go play with. You just have that cable, the SMA connector, with whatever adapter for your radio, and the antenna itself, the loop itself, connects to two screws on each side. It's a much more solid reference. So that's one of the interesting things. Now, I've tried it on a few other radios where it performed okay. What I see personally is a loop that is less sensitive because it's not amplified, but that keeps pretty much the signal to noise ratio of the MLA30, which means the MLA30 might look like a noisy antenna because the noise level is higher, and it is because it amplifies everything, of course, but the signal to noise is the same. That means a signal that you can hear well in the noise with the MLA30 keeps the same ratio, but it's just weaker. You don't have less noise for the signal, you just have less of everything, including the signal. So that's the first observations I have. Like I said, it isn't bad on the proper setup and the proper settings. I will eventually have it outside close to my MLA30 for really close observations. It is not less noisy, or the MLA30. A lot of people's like, well, it's very noisy. It's not. The low noise amplifier on the MLA30 is extremely low noise. And there is one disadvantage of having an antenna like the YouLoop that is unamplified. That cable that comes with it here for connection, actually, you have to be careful where you actually will pass it through, because it is very sensitive to any noise around it, even though it is supposed to be a shielded coax. The MLA30 is pretty much immune to that because of the amplification given to it. So all sorts of little details like that I'm observing personally, and more tests, of course, are going to be done, and I'll be receiving and testing out tonight. So all the radios you'll see tonight on the channel will all be connected using different connectors to the YouLoop, which is in the window in the backyard. So, of course, not optimum, but at least we're going to test it out. I will have to give one positive aspect to the YouLoop. Its coverage, and it's normal because the YouLoop is a passive antenna. So the MLA30 low noise amplifier is dedicated to be shortwave. That's why it performs on shortwave, but loses its sensitivity quite fast after, because the amplifier is not meant to work on higher frequencies. The YouLoop is passive, so it doesn't have that amplifier limit. So it actually does work well or decently on a VHF range, and I will try it actually to track satellites to see if it works with that. So that would be a positive point to it. So more observations coming. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you.